Welcome. I am Elasa, your guide, and I want to go over some things that are fresh this rising with people reaching out and further deep dive on anything I can recap or share about master building and master building keys sets, understanding how the blueprints work, how the Ascension School works within and without. So we are really complex beings. We have so many thoughts all day, right? And as many thoughts as we can have is how many realities, how, if that's like a big term, but how many within the reality, there's reality constructs, there's worlds. And so that big world that you're creating has realms to it. We're going to stick to 12 realms. It has on each realm floors. So let's say when you think about a building has floors, right? Let's say a building has 17 floors. You're going to go up 17 floors, but yet you're on realm 4. And within those buildings, on those floors, there's dimensional spaces, which are rooms. Okay. So, and one more term that I'm going to draw out is planes of existence. Sometimes you're literally lifting to occupy the whole construct, the whole plane that may have many constructs on it, many worlds. And remember, worlds are created from words, from thoughts and feelings that are vibrational subsets that create that reality to exist in a certain way. But sometimes you're literally jumping up to new planes of existence, which has everything on it. So this is coming up because when you are ascending and you are starting to go into these next phases of existence that have you maybe feeling like where you used to have everything outside of you make sense. You used to pay attention to maps. I hope I'm looking at the right place in the camera. But looking at the camera, hopefully that's it. Anyways, you know where I was looking if not, which there's probably a message in that. So where you're looking, is where the focus is. And so all of this is going on regardless of any of these terms. And it could have none of these words when you meet your maker, who you really are, when you meet the Godhead, when you meet Source. You may have different words. These are just the words that I use to make sense when I am working in the dream time most nights. And in the daytime, now that we're really awake to the dream and the dream is lucid all day, I still may use some of these terms to help navigate and understand what used to be easy to navigate with a map, like I was saying, outside of me, thinking that things were fixed, but there were locations that I knew how that being was going to act because that soul of that person, typically always told me something. And now they're starting to shapeshift because everybody's waking up and everybody's at different versions of the game, different floors, different realms. And because so many of, the construct walls have come down because of conspiracy theorists, because of all of the astral plane experiences that we have happening in the waking day, meaning what used to happen in the night that was all silly, now it happens in the waking day. And the plane has risen into a higher frequency that we are occupying. So what used to be more malleable just at nighttime is now very malleable in the daytime. Okay. And that we would call an immature, astral plane, like the lower astral plane, where we're seeing still shadows play themselves out pretty rapidly in a silly way. And so that there still has a hand in that, meaning you still have a hand in even what I just said. I can upgrade that. So everywhere now, everyone is, emotionally mature and ready to live from their heart and have things, if they are malleable and silly, be fun and light and lively. So I upgrade that, clear, cancel, delete, whatever I said before, because I don't want to make this be a further imprint. I want to evolve, but yeah, I still want to share with you these keys that I have a key set to. So when you are finding, like I said, everything outside of you starts to look a little different, in the sense that you used to have like a good handle on things, even grounding. used to be really grounded with the way the earth was. And now that things are shape shifting with new belief systems that are more dominant, let's say like flat earth is now more dominant, for your reality or your cast of characters, then all of a sudden you might start feeling a little weeble wobbly as you go to, navigate the world that you find yourself in. And so um, those outer places that we were really fixed and anchored to, and when they fold in, I'm just going to give you a set of keys from the inner map of the Ascension School. And so most of the time, you will find yourself being able to utilize the elevator of your spine. So let me start drawing. And I'm going to draw myself as a big being with a mountaintop. Okay, so this big mountain, the Ascension School, which may show up in your dreams as a mountain, as a school, as a mall, as your old high school. Sometimes you're going to use the archetype of schools itself. Sometimes they're going to be, a fair, because it's going to represent everybody in a maybe second dimensional inner child, wounded child character, silly playland. So pay attention to the vehicle of the actual building that shows up in your dream time or in your meditation. And then we'll talk about vehicles themselves because that was in the dream last night. But when we're looking at, let's say, a mountaintop, and you're looking at your bigger being, okay, it's like that bigger being and that central channel is also an access understanding of like your first energy center, your second energy center. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth at the throat, sixth, seventh, eighth, and up. Okay, so these energy centers are also, when I've been working through the years, they're doorways to several things. They're doorways to realms, okay? And sometimes they've been doorways to planes of existence. And so if you find that you might ask yourself right now, put in the comments, what realm are you occupying? Where are you at? And so if you don't hear a number, you could notice something up your spine. Where do you gravitate? Does your energy get taken to your throat? And then you could ask or muscle test, am I on the fifth realm? So whatever realm you're on, if you understand the energetic system that we have built into our psyche as a tribe, we may on the fifth realm be authentic, be our archetypal self, be more able to communicate. And we're looking at the more, typically the most balanced state of that energy center. However, on the fifth density, we could still have people that are still working on learning how to communicate or working on, mastering that archetype. Okay. The fourth energy center, the astral plane, typical most dream time was happening here. And now it's like we've woken up to the fourth density. We also can look at realms as density. I'm going to add that in. But we could, say that we've been really mastering dream time and now we've woken up to the dream. And so the daytime, we might actually be living in a fourth density or fourth realm where you're working on being authentic and from the heart, unconditional loving. And if you're not, you're working the balance, you're finding, those types of challenges with those topics. Okay. The third density, the third realm, your personality, your ego, your identity, the 3D world, how you're mastering the 3D world. A lot of brick and mortar, businesses. It could also kind of couple up with the mental body, the mental plane. I'm not going to go into subtle bodies, but also your energetic energy doorways, they also lead to subtle bodies. They create the aura in different layers of the aura, builds out, the first energy center does your first energetic body, 1 to 3 inches off the body. Second energy center builds the third or second energy center, the emotional emotional energy center, 3 to 5 inches off the body. And that's just a cookie cutter recipe. It can get bigger and wider. But again, I'm not going to go too deep into subtle bodies because I want to stay on this mapping system. We're looking at, understanding where we're coming from. So if you just got a yes that you're on the fourth realm, fourth density, and that's where the main plane of existence that you're occupying, then most of the people that you're having like real soul to soul connections with are also people who have a resonant match on this fourth density. So everyone in your world that you're projecting is in this, living dream state of the astral realm, let's say. And there's something else they want me to say about that. So you're projecting them though. So sometimes it's going to feel like you actually are not dealing with a real soul. Like I laugh with family and people at the center that sometimes it's like they're NPCs, they're non-player characters in the video game. And I'm like, are you really there? I'll talk to them telepathically. Is that soul like that you're showing up? Is that really you? And sometimes it's not. They're like somewhere else, but this other version of them is playing out for me so that I can have a full cast of characters in front of me. There's that point of view. And there's also a point of view that, essentially everybody is here for me, through me, by me. And so I'm projecting everybody how I perceive them to be in this now moment. And so if I'm coming from a true centered place of the heart and I'm playing on this fourth density, then everyone around me is an eternal soul and I am seeing them. I'm being the invitation for them all to be these eternal souls. And I'm allowing them to show up and be this amazing next level of the build out of this game we're in. The new world, the ascended state, the merger of the light body into, the density that we've been thinking was so dense. Everything starts to become liquid love light and malleable, and we start really living out the golden age. We live out wholeness. We live out authentic. We live out telepathic. We live out things being more malleable. We can project things more instantly. They've always been that way, but it starts to become very obvious because your skills come back online. I have a class coming up, so I'm going to try to slow down my speaking, but I want to get this out to you. Okay. So you're going to find, whether in the waking day or in the dream time, you might find, if you're an electrician, spiritual electrician, or you're a helper in the astral realm, you might find that you're helping people get to higher floors or get to higher realms. Let's go over floors since I said it. So on a realm, let's say we're dealing with the fourth realm. Like I said, there's buildings, and they have floors. Here's a building. Here's another building. It's got a lot of floors. We'll change the color. This building is a triangle building. So if you find you're on realm 4, I want you to ask right now, what floor are you on? You're on the 12th floor. Okay, so here you are on the 12th floor of this building, right? Let's say you meet somebody, you are helping someone, with the ascent, and you're in dream time, and they come up to you and they show you that they need assistance, and you don't even know where to begin. This is how this system came to me when I would be in dream time, because I'm a lucid dreamer, active dreamer every night, dreaming the future. And so I'd have people come to me, and sometimes they come with issues or challenges, or they show me, that it's weird. And I'm like, okay, well, how can we upgrade this? Just like I do in sessions, how can we upgrade this? What do you really want? And so before just diving into like material of like words, a lot of times for simplicity, I'll say, can we do the numbers in the dream? And they're like, yeah. And I'll say, what realm are they? They're at 4. Where do they need to go? 7. What floor are they on? 2. Where do they need to go? 17. Okay. And I just by the request, sometimes I breathe, sometimes in the dreams I'm using my hands, pushing up, like I'm like helping like like I'm a superwoman, and I'm like flying through the air, pushing up these floors. It's going to be different for everybody. You may never use any of this. I'm just being guided because some of you actually who are around me right now are ready for this. I'm so happy you're ready and that you're seeing this ability. But whatever you get, sometimes the numbers are going to help simplify things, as well as your own life. In the dream time, in the daytime, the slowed down version of the dream is the now, meaning, if you are a dreamer or you're a meditator or you are, you work in a meditative state to go ahead and actualize reality by visualizing it first. Daydreamer, you then grounding it down is essentially like a slowed down version of what is already done. And so when you in the waking day, let's say, are using the system of numbers and floors, etc., you might just start to play with it. Like I said, ask, where is there somewhere I need to go? So let's do that exercise. Is there a realm that you're ready to go to? And there's nothing, hierarchical about it. It just means, are you ready for the next build out? 7. So you may be taken to the 7th realm or 7th density. Are you supposed to retrieve something from there? The book of life. They wanted me to go into the book of life. Okay. Is this part of the assignment? Yes. And so do you want to talk about the book of life first? Yeah. So the book of life is AKA the Akashic record, but it's essentially your record that's very specific to anything that you come here to work out, challenges, lessons, to stabilize any dualities. And then you live your best life. You live your purpose, and not maybe, and then maybe a lot of you've already done this. You started out that way and you've consistently been on purpose, on path, using your gifts and talents. You came here with gifts and talents that you've already been mastering. And so in the book of life, we want you to see, is there anything that comes to you? I want you to take a deep breath into your heart space and take a breath out of your heart space. And imagine a beam of light and you're up at plane 7. I want you to imagine in the beam of light, your book is there. You're white with golden pages. And is there anything that you need to know to clear up at plane 4, where we just were? And if you know what it is, great. If you don't, just intend that. We're going to take a few deep breaths. We're going to inhale the truth and exhale the balance. Inhale the truth and exhale love. Inhale the truth and exhale wholeness. Good. And we're going to do one more. Go ahead and flip to the page of you living your most authentic, your legendary self that you came here to really give the gift, to be of service. And see if you can visualize or get a sense of what are you doing? Are you doing what you're already doing? Are you doing something you've been longing to do? Are you doing something you knew you were meant to do? Or is it a total surprise? Smile, take that in and merge liquid love light, the golden light. I want you to pour in like the God self that you are, source self, the higher self. Pour liquid love light into your full avatar now, to your full body, down your channel. You are this. You are fully capable to walk and live this. Good. Take an inhale, and I want you to exhale, blow. Imagine you're blowing at the back of your head where the etherical love light comes in. Again. And last one. Good. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Ask if you're done at plane 7, or do you need to stay there? Smile. If you're meant to stay there, awesome. If you're not, come into the realm that you're meant to be at today, on the floor that works best for you. Smile and intend that everyone around you is balanced and organized as eternal souls that they be. Okay. Have an amazing day. Thank you for jumping in, and wherever you are, however this serves the greater totality of the one we be, I send you love for eternity. From my heart to yours.